9/11 true crime. So I'm going to read you a little something that our beautiful Zoe and Nikki have shared. Our Nikki shared it in the last one. I just want to make it clear, I'm not upset with Nikki at all. I love Nikki. Nikki is my sweetheart. I just don't like Sheriff Nanu at all. Like, I think it's full of shit. But that being said, let me share with you a statement, and then we're going to get into questions, which the private eyes are going to ask. And here is Zoe's statement. Statement from Sheriff Nanu's. Now, where is this from, Zoe? I don't know where you... I always like it if you guys want me to read statements and stuff, that you give me source. So rather than me taking the time while I'm live to go look for this, I'm going to say this is hearsay until we have the link. But this is allegedly what's being put out there. I will tell you, I trust Zoe and Nikki explicitly. Like, they're very amazing. And so Zoe is sharing what she has read. Statement from Sheriff Nanu, so it must be right from him. Take it with whatever you want. Take it however you want. To be clear, the Guthrie family, to include all siblings and spouses, has been cleared as possible suspects in the case of Nancy Guthrie. I'm sharing for info only. I personally know for a fact that they lie to us, that law enforcement lie to the public while they're working cases. It could be that they're the prime suspect, but they don't want them to think that. And so they'll lie to us. Or it could be that they are clear. But how are you going to clear someone when you don't know who did it? You have no person. What does Nancy say about all this? Where is she? Have you found her, Sheriff Nanus? Or are you just saying that to control the media? I'll let you form your own opinion. Thank you, Nikki UK, my love, and thank you, my Zozo, for sharing that. I greatly do appreciate that. Carla would like you to hit that like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Now, everything we're about to share today is my interpretation of the cards. Doesn't mean that it's fact at all. It just simply means that's the interpretation of the cards I get. We're going to go over to the table. Nobody's guilty until proven in a court of law. I'm still suspicious of the family, regardless of what Sheriff Nano says. But with that being said, let's see what's going on here. Nina, thank you, my lovely. You bought, oh my gosh, you bought five new memberships gifted. And let me see, who do we have? It's easier to read on this screen. Marlene Ring, Cookie Lee, Patsy, Pint Glass Tripod, and Nick C. Thank you all so much, and welcome to our private eyes. And thank you incredibly much, Nina. That's amazing. Thank you, sweetheart. Hi, Jan Funk. Welcome. Thank you again, Nina. What a blessing you all are. All right, we're starting with Nikki UK. Let's get it on the board. We got a question up. You can come down here, right about here, and you can see where the question will be posted. And let's go ahead and see. Is Nancy's niece partner of Luke Daly allegedly? Okay, let's get into this. Luke Daly, boy, has he got my attention after today. Indeed. Oh, from Brian Inton. Thank you, Zozo. All right, my lovelies. Is Nancy's niece partner in some way, or affiliated, we'll say, with Luke Daly? Now, if you're wondering who Luke Daly is, hold on. Remember when they went to Culver's, so there was a big bust where not Carlos, the next night, or the next few nights, they took a man and a woman and detained them while they searched the home. There was a million feds and all that kind of stuff that went in there. Well, the brother and the mother were at home. They were all getting detained for a little bit there. But there was a traffic stop that ended up at Culver's restaurant in the parking lot. And there was a car there that was a Range Rover. The individual that owns that car, allegedly owns that car, is Luke Daly, who is allegedly the brother to the mother and the male that was all of it at once, right? Okay, so let's get into this. Is Nancy's niece allegedly a partner to Luke Daly? Yes. She is affiliated in some way to Luke Daly, allegedly. We have this partnership, sharing cups. That is 2 of cups. That is somebody that you're sharing a cup with, right? Ace of Pentacles. That's my evidence card. Please come and focus. I have autofocus on, you guys. So with Ace of Pentacles, aces are always yes. We have 2 of Cups, which is a strong yes. So it's a strong connection. A strong connection. Ace of Pentacles is also evidence. And then we have Page of Swords. So this is somebody that has knowledge. This is an investigation. This is also saying, look deeper into this. The universe is encouraging it. Bottom of the deck, the Star, the focus. And it could be that Luke Daly may have the focus, even though he was released after being detained. His Range Rover wasn't. So they're still processing his Range Rover and other things inside the Range Rover. Aquarius energy is also Nancy's energy. It's the focus. It's that bright, shining star. Like, you know, the spotlight of the star, right? All right, my lovelies. Let's go ahead and see what other brilliant questions. And thank you, So. That was very, very good question. Excellent. Let me see. We'll go all the way to the bottom. Nikki says, wow, makes so much sense now. So says, I am back. I have sent statement to you, Mama D, for you to have a look at if interested. Okay. Let me go ahead and see if I can check it while we're live. So. Oh, you put the guilt trip. This is from Sheriff Nanu's Guthrie investigation. To be clear, the Guthrie family, to include all siblings and spouses, has been cleared as possible suspects in this case. The family has been nothing but cooperative and gracious and are victims in this case. Here goes the guilt trip. So in other words, I shouldn't even have suspicion. It says to suggest otherwise is not only wrong, it's cruel. The Guthrie family are victims, plain and simple. Please, I'm begging you, the media, to honor your profession and report with some sense of compassion and professionalism. I don't trust the sheriff. I do not trust the sheriff. Janeville says, I don't believe a word he says. Marty Gibson, hello, lovely. Welcome to the channel. Thank you. All right, make sure, put the big question word in front of the question that you asked so that I can make sure and ask it. I'm going to scroll up. Question. Ooh. A lot of people want to know this. Carla is asking, is Nancy's kidnapping a distraction for the Epsom salt files? Allegedly. Is Nancy... We have past energy of children. How interesting. Past energy. Don't let your past hold you back kind of energy. But it's also 6 of Cups, which is usually about children. Is Nancy Guthrie's case a distraction away from the Epsom salt files? And why do I say that? Because I'd like to keep my channel and YouTube censors. We have defense, 7 of Wands, and we have lovers, which is, you know what lovers means, right? If we're talking Epsom salt, I don't think it's love. I think it would be sexual. And then we have the phallic, Knight of Wands. It's not giving me a hardcore yes. I don't have a yes on the board. We have an illusion. So there's something There's definitely something, but I can't say favorable or unfavorable. But what I can tell you is the answer to your question, because I don't have control of the cards. God does, right? Jesus has control of the cards. And that's the only one allowed to answer any of my questions that I ask, by the way, is Jesus, because he is my Savior. So we've got this child card, and we have defense. Defense of a child. Defense about a child. See it how you want. We have the Lovers, which is a choice between two. Interesting, we have a mountain in the background. This is an attachment. We go right into the phallic symbol of this in and out. This person's impulsive. This person's unreliable. They have salamanders on their cloak because they're slick. So I'll let you draw your answer. I did not get a firm yes or a no, but that is what I got to your answer, Zozo. Thank you, or Carla, sorry. Carla. Thank you, Carla, love. I appreciate you asking the question. Debbie Gazzardo, was this crime made to look like a kidnapping, but is something completely different? Was Nancy Guthrie actually something different than a kidnapping? We have divine timing. We have planting a tree, right? Planting a seed, taking the time. We have time put in, but it's also about a money tree. And right here is one pentacle. It's like not quite time to harvest, but very soon energy. Was this actually something different? We have a fight. There's that fight. It always comes up. The fight to the death. We have the money tree, fight to the death. And we have burdens, right? Putting the burdens down. 10 wands. He can't carry another stick. That's why it's the very end of the wands. He can't pick up another stick. He's got his hands completely full. He's overburdened. And that's why it's called the burden card. Bottom of the deck, I've got that defense. So I'm not getting a favorable or unfavorable. What I'm getting is the reason has to do with finances, money. Has to do with money. And it's like there's this fight. This guy has stolen all the weapons from everybody else so that he has the advantage strategically. They're also defenseless and they are a burden to him. Interesting, today we're not getting the hardcore yes or no answers. So I can't force it. I just share with what I am given. I'm reading what I have. Oh, thank you, Zozo. Little reminder, please show your love and support for Mama D by liking, subscribing, and if you haven't already, after the live, hit hype. It really does make a difference. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, Zozo, for sending me that screenshot so I could read it too. Question, Jan Funk. Question, are they going to get cadaver dogs out there? Are they going to get the cadaver dogs out there? Looking for Nancy. Doesn't look like it. That's unfavorable. That's almost betraying the situation. That's heartbreak. Heartbreak, I tell you. Look, heartbreak. And we have this desert, right? This is all desert terrain. And this person's got their back to it. This is walking away from it. So this is unfavorable. Bottom of the deck. 9 of Cups with the 10. A desert. Look, it's the desert. She's laying in the desert. 9 of Cups, that's where she is. But they're not getting the dogs out. But justice is going to come. But she's been laid to rest. 4 of Swords. Interesting. They have no plan. They have a plan, I should say, but they're not taking action on it. I would say unfavorable on the dogs. That was a great question. Question, does Tommaso and Luke know each other? Do Luke Daly and Tommaso Chionio know each other allegedly? Now remember, everything I share with you is my interpretation of these cards. Don't go calling the popo and be like the tarot reader on YouTube said, because tarot is to use as a guideline. You then have to do the boots on the ground and the work to get the evidence. That's what you share with the popo. All right? So, question, allegedly, does Tommaso and Luke know each other? Like family. According to this, very much so. 10 of Cups. There's only 10 in the tarot. So you go from 1 to 10. And in that, when you get the 10s, they're the expansion of the answer. And this is the maximum. So this is like family. You can see the family, you can see the children, and you can see the rainbow of cups above it. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Pentacles. Yes. And look at that. I've been wondering, who's my King of Wands? Is Luke Daly the King of Wands? Is he a Sag by chance? I will have to find out. That is interesting, because this is Sagittarius energy here. We have swift action with the devil. With the devil. And the high priest, the one that knows but doesn't say, is saying they're liar, cheater, thiefers if they say they didn't. It's regrettable about Nancy. Wow. I would say highly favorable that Luke Daly most likely does know Tommaso. All right, you guys. You got some good questions. Thank you. Thank you. Marty Gibson, hello, lovely. Question. Did the kidnapper know that Nancy needed her meds and was frail in her health? Okay, so we have to break it down to one question per, because the cards don't do well with double compound questions. So let's just ask this. Marty is wanting to know, did the kidnappers know that Nancy needed her medication to stay alive? Did the kidnappers know? Look. They did not care, because that was not the point. This is in and out, reckless, don't give a shit. This person does not care. They're there for themselves. This is a Knight of Wands, and this person is self-centered, and they think about themselves, and they're in and out. They do reckless things. They're very impulsive, and they leave you questioning, why do you do the things that you do? There's an illusion about that whole question. In other words, the meds weren't even a concern. We have this come at me almost like a payout. Her hand is up saying pay up, almost like an authority figure saying pay up. We have confusion. Now you could see this as too many offers. This person had too much to keep track of. You could also see it as they may have been confused and not realize that they needed the meds. But we have this death card, and the king right here, or queen, has passed away. And this is saying this person didn't care, because it wasn't about a kidnapping. This was about a passing away, because this is an illusion right here of a kidnapping. Truth spoken. We're confused on the motive. The motive was death. Wow. That's wild. That, Marty, dang, good question. Thank you, my love, for asking that. Okay. You guys, like Zozo and Nikki and everybody is saying, I won't see your question if you don't put the word question in front. So make sure you put the question in front and then type. So type the word question and then type your question so that I see it, okay? Because I'm looking from real far away. I'm looking for the word question, so I know I'm not just grabbing chat. Thank you, sweetheart. Spilled paint furniture flippers. Hello, love. Does DE, that'd be Dominic Evans, which is Tommaso's bandmate, know Luke? Ooh, that's a great question. According to the cards, does Dominic Evans allegedly know Luke? Justice. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Justice is favorable. Also means that there's some balancing of the scales coming. We have a plan. We have a plan. Two of Wands. We have the Empress, which is something very interesting about the Empress. That's the mother card, by the way. The mother of all mothers. The Empress is all four queens. She's given birth, but it's not that she's given birth to a baby. She's pregnant with awareness. She's pregnant with opportunity. She's pregnant with blessings and abundance. Do Dominic Evans and Luke Daly know each other? Thank you. Like the big brothers. Allegedly, yes. Bottom of the deck. The Star. Favorable. Doesn't mean 100% ever because it's tarot, but the energies are showing me that it's a very, very favorable. Thank you for asking that question. All right, Curious Barb. I just saw my mod tell you to put question in front. That's how I saw your question, is because they wrote that. So luckily I see it. Curious Barb Love. Was the sheriff's comment about no family involved a decoy? You're getting the goat. You're getting the goat. Curious Barb is getting the goat. If you get the goat, it's because I absolutely, I resonate with your question that strong. So this is Billy the Goat, our mascot. You got the goat. Curious Barb wants to know, is the sheriff's comment about no family involved a decoy? Is the sheriff's comment about the family not being involved a decoy? Choice between two. Lovers, Gemini energy. We have a nightmare you can't wake up from. Unfavorable so far. Yes. Whoa. Bottom of the deck. Hangman. Get a new perspective about what this guy is saying. This is a decoy. Look, lovers, Gemini energy. Lovers could literally be, in this case, take it for face value kind of energy. We have lovers being possibly the main suspect. Could be married, could be a couple, right? Taking somebody out of their bed. Yes. Aces are yes. Get a new perspective about what Sheriff Nenez is doing. You very well may have the answer there. Just saying. Interesting. Wow, that was an excellent question. I'm glad that you were able to get it out there. Hello, my beautiful Sully spirit. I adore you, love. Question, did they do something to the dog so the plan would work in the future? Now, we did ask this last time, not last time, but in the past, and we got absolutely, including, we got the strength card, which is somebody putting, it looks like the character on the strength card is putting something in the mouth of a lion. Well, if the lion's a dog, did they poison the dog? We asked that, and we got a affirmative answer. So let's ask again. Did someone do something to the dog in December so that the plan would work in the future? Y'all, it's in the basement. We have an illusion. Gemini energy again with the Magician. Did someone do something to the dog so that they could kidnap or whatever with Nancy? We have defense, defending. This did not shuffle. What the heck? Ooh, what'd we get? What'd we get? Did you hear the clapper and then nothing? All right, energy's ripe. Sully, wow. Thank you, sweetheart. Hold on, I can't click the heart yet. because it's underneath my other one. Thank you, sweetheart, for the $50 snooper chat. That is so lovely and so kind. All right, did they do something to that doggy? The Hierophant. Contract, bottom of the deck, a stinky offer in a cup. So I'm not getting an affirmative, positive or negative. I'm not getting likely, unlikely. I'm getting a story. So I have an illusion, but it has that cup, right? So we were wondering about defense in the future. We have commitment, marriage card. Maybe it's telling on who did it. But what's interesting is I have this page with a cup. And if you look, it's got a fish in the cup. Something unexpected in a cup. And this is very much like I explained. Is there something that was given to the dog that laid him to rest? The answer? Stuck. And look, the dark horse in the night. Pentacle, stuck energy. Timing. So I'll leave that with you, but I would say it's not favorable or unfavorable. It's explaining a story. That stinky offer and laying to rest, right? Right there, that bothers me because that could suggest that they gave something unexpected to the dog that laid him to rest. Four of Swords. Four of Swords. Excellent questions, you guys. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Sully. That was brilliant. All right, let's see. Am I missing? Just a note, the sheriff recently told Brianna, the journalist, that no one is cleared, including the family, so this is really confusing. I know, and I don't even trust nanos, so we're not even going to bother with nanos. Spilled paint. Question. Does the Bitcoin scammer who was charged know Tommaso and Annie? How would they have gotten their phone number otherwise? That'd be a good question. How do you get somebody's cell if you don't already have it? Okay, we have Four of Swords, which is laid to rest. Know him since a childhood. They know him. And Nancy and Judgment, yes. And abandonment. Favorable. Favorable. No doubt. Known him for a long time. Known this person for years. Could even have known him since they were a child. Someone in the past. We have the mother of all the mothers. The Empress. Then we have Judgment. Judgment's the strongest final yes in the deck. You get Judgment in your reading, that's a firm yes to whatever questions you have. So I would say very favorable that they do. Excellent questions, you guys. And again, thank you, Sully. Let me make sure it let me hit heart. There we go. Zoe. Does any family member have knowledge of what has happened to Nancy Guthrie, allegedly? Does any family member know what has happened to Nancy Guthrie? Yes. Intimate knowledge. Two of Cups. That's very favorable. There it is with that. That's when I was talking about the dog and how it looked like somebody was putting something in the mouth, right? But we have the Strength card. They very much know. Bottom of the deck, King of Wands knows. Whoever that is, power. Judgment, yes! Sorry, guys. Yes. Excellent questions, as always. You guys floor me. Why'd that pop off? You guys floor me with how good your questions are. I just wouldn't be able to think of all these questions. All right, let me go ahead. Did we do it? Did we ask? Okay, I found one more. Marty Gibson question. Most grandmothers have Facebook. Any clues on Nancy's Facebook, maybe? Are there clues to the abductor on Nancy's Facebook? Did she piss someone off? Was she posting something that this intruder was like, oh my God, I gotta go get her? I don't know. So did Nancy Guthrie, does she have clues on her Facebook? I've never even thought of that. That's an excellent question, Marty. Does Nancy Guthrie have clues on her Facebook about this abductor? She knows them. They're on her Facebook. They've had communication. She knows them. 2 cups. She knows them very well. 9 of cups. Yes, favorable. That's overabundance, an abundance of information. And 10 of Pentacles with walking away. Look at this. Look at this. 10 of Pentacles. Legacy. This is legacy. This is the family card. I don't care what Sheriff Nanu says. My cards read that there is someone, either family or extremely close to Nancy, that knows the answers. I would say favorable, Marty. Favorable. All right, we're getting down there. Jennifer Swain. Is Banfield source correct about Tommaso being the prime suspect at this time? Excellent question. Is Tommaso allegedly the prime suspect at this time? We have the death card. We have the strength card. Major arcanas. We have another major arcana, the Hierophant, commitment, and a decision with the page, messenger. All right, let's read what we've got. So we have the death card, scorpionic energy, absolutely change. And we have the king or queen dead. And the people here are looking at this Grim Reaper. So we have a death. They believe, law enforcement believe Nancy has passed over, regardless of what they tell you, according to my reading. We have the strength card, which is a weakness and overpowering. There's something more to the strength card and the commitment. Legacy and abandonment. This is like somebody trying to go after the will, you guys. This is all about money. Pentacles. We've got 5 pentacles, which is the abandonment, and then we have the legacy. This is a will. This is inheritance. It's inheritance. It is inheritance. When we look at this, like I said, you've got the strength card. This is someone overpowering another. We have the commitment. This is, you could see this as establishment. This can be a will. Decision, death, and the messenger. So, yes, I would lean toward favorable that Tommaso is still a prime suspect. Wow. Interesting. I think I got all the questions. And yes, Zoe says, we appreciate every single question you ask, and we absolutely do. Did I miss anybody? What was the motive of the crime to ultimately have Savannah leave the Today Show? Well, we can ask that next time. But I want to say thank you for your time, for your support, and for your continued effort to help spread awareness and to help figure out what has happened to Nancy. Where is she? Say prayers for Nancy Guthrie, please. I appreciate that. Also appreciate all your likes, all your subs, the memberships. I so appreciate my private eyes. You ask absolutely the most amazing questions, and I'm just so honored that I have such a brilliant group. Tomorrow we will be opening up the questions to everybody. You don't even gotta be a member at all, just any subscriber, and that way everybody gets a chance to answer questions. So stay tuned. Now you guys, listen to me. Luke Daly is the guy that owns the car, the Range Rover that got towed and is still in evidence. It was his home where his mother and his brother allegedly live that got raided. They were detained and then released. But Brian Hinton has said, don't hold too much into them they're not being something to that, because a lot of evidence on that Range Rover and other things such as his phone are getting processed. So they may not have had enough to hold him at that time, but what about after they process that? So Luke Daly got pulled over at a traffic stop at the Culver's restaurant, and that's where they seized his vehicle. Meanwhile, the feds and everybody else is back at his house, right? And they pulled out his mom and his other brother. So, if you haven't seen my video today, the very first one I did, we do face mask mapping on Luke Daly and the masked guy. You don't want to miss that, so make sure and check that out. All right, my lovelies, this is all I have. I gave you everything I got for today. A lot of stuff moving very fast in this case, in Nancy Guthrie. I'm still curious, why is nobody looking for Nancy? It's bothering me. That really bothers me. Like, I get that they've got the signal sniffer out there, but we only heard about it being out there one day. Like, all that press, and nobody else has seen it except for that one day over 2 weeks after she went missing. Why aren't they looking for her? I don't get that. I want to thank you. Yes, thank our chat. Everybody has been amazing. Thank you, Nikki. And thank you, Zozo. Thank you, Spilled Paint. Thank you all so very much. I love you. To the moon and back. Always and forever. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the subbing up. And after this live is done, if you're on replay, I want to say thank you to my amazing, you're simply amazing, replay crew. And thank you for hyping me up. See you again very soon.
From the dust I was born, to the dirt I shall return. When my eyes are closed, in the shadows, my enemies will think they won, but I am here to stay. Destiny will overcome, no, I am not afraid. Like a phoenix in the night, my soul will rise. From the darkness to